Imagine being dropped off on an island inhabited by people who don't know anything about the outside world and have unseen another human being in decades. Your mission is to convert them to Christianity. What do? That's exactly what happened when a missionary named John Allen Che set foot on North Sentinel Island in 2018. But why did he go there and what happened next shocked everyone. John Allen Che came from a family with a rich history of missionary work. His father was already a well-known missionary at the time, and when John grew up, he wanted to follow in his father's footsteps. Before embarking on his own trips around the world, he studied theology at a Bible college. He dreamed of traveling to remote locations like Greenland and Papua New Guinea, and sharing the Word of God with people who had never heard of Jesus. However, John always knew that his greatest challenge would be getting through to the people of North Sentinel Island. This small tropical paradise located in the Andaman Sea is part of India's Andaman and Nicobar Islands. It's a true gem with white sand beaches, palm trees, and crystal clear waters, but it's also one of the most restricted islands in the world. That's because it's home to a group of people known as the Sentinelese, who are fiercely protective of their way of life and have minimal contact with the outside world. In fact, they're so self-sufficient that they've never even developed a written language. When news of Shah's plan to visit the island spread, many people were against it. They warned him that the Sentinelese were known for attacking anyone who set foot on their land, but Shah remained determined to carry out his holy mission. On January 2018, a few members of the Sentinelese tribe were spotted on the beach, waving and making strange sounds. This is because they hadn't seen another human being in decades. So they probably thought Shah's boat was just a figment of their imagination, but they soon realized this was not the case. To try and communicate with them, Shah started making the same sounds and gestures as they did. He also threw in coconuts and water bottles to show them that he wasn't a threat. However, instead of accepting his gifts, the islanders threw stones and arrows at Shah's boat, and when he landed on the beach, they attacked him with spears. Luckily, Shah managed to run back to his boat and escape, but the tribe followed him. The Sentinelese jumped into the water and began swimming after Shah's boat. They were excellent swimmers and soon reached his vessel. At that point, Shah fired 3 warning shots into the air, but the tribe kept coming closer and closer, so he had no choice but to fire at them. After this incident, Shah retreated to his ship. He felt terrible about what had happened, but he had no other choice. He then sailed away from the island as fast as possible and returned to civilization. After his harrowing experience, Shah told everyone that the Sentinelese were extremely aggressive and should not be messed with. But little did he know that this was only the beginning. As soon as Shah's story hit the media, it caused an uproar. Many people criticized him for endangering the lives of the Sentinelese tribe by bringing them into contact with the outside world, and some even called him a hero for defending himself against the attackers. But most importantly, they all wondered if the Sentinelese were truly as aggressive as Shah claimed. There are conflicting reports about the events that took place on North Sentinel Island that day. Some say Shah's story is 100% true, while others believe he exaggerated the events to make himself look better. But here's what we do know. The Sentinelese tribe is one of the most mysterious and isolated tribes in the world. They've been living on North Sentinel Island for thousands of years and have almost no contact with the outside world. In fact, scientists don't even know where they came from or how many members are part of the tribe. And that's because outsiders aren't allowed on the island. If you try to get close, the Sentinelese will attack you. Over the years, many people have tried to make contact with the tribe, but they've all been driven away with force. But in 1974, 2 men named Christian von Buell and Morris Vase managed to get to the island and collect some information about the tribe. They learned that the Sentinelese are skilled hunters and gatherers and live a simple life. They also have a rich culture and history, but we don't know much about it because they don't have a written language. Based on the limited information available, scientists believe that the Sentinelese are one of the most genetically pure human populations left on Earth. They split from other human populations between 25,000 and 42,000 years ago, and since then, they've lived in complete isolation. This means that they've evolved differently from other humans and have developed their own unique way of life. But unfortunately, this way of life is under threat. Diseases from the outside world are killing many Sentinelese. When Shah visited the island, he brought with him diseases that the Sentinelese had never seen before. This could have a devastating impact on their population, which is estimated to be between 40 and 500 members. Another threat is climate change. The Sentinelese way of life depends on the balance of nature on the island. But as the climate changes, the balance of nature is being disrupted, and this is putting the Sentinelese at risk. Despite these threats, the Sentinelese are still thriving. They're a resilient people who have adapted to the challenges of living on a remote island, but they need our help to survive. We need to protect their way of life and make sure that they are able to continue living on their ancestral lands. We can learn a lot from the Sentinelese. They are a reminder that we do want to know everything, and that there are still parts of the world that are beyond our understanding. They also teach us about resilience and adaptability. Despite the challenges they face, the Sentinelese are still thriving. They are a testament to the human spirit and a reminder that we can overcome any obstacle if we are willing to try. The most important thing to remember about the Sentinelese is that they're people just like us. They have families and loved ones, and they're trying to live their lives the best they can. We need to respect their way of life and protect their right to live in peace. Now let's take a closer look at John. Where did this man who dared to visit North Sentinel Island come from? As mentioned earlier, John grew up with a strong Christian upbringing and had a passion for missionary work. But he wasn't just any ordinary missionary. He was a member of the New Tribes Mission, a conservative Christian organization that recruits missionaries from around the world to travel to remote areas and spread the message of Christianity. John had always been drawn to the NTMS way of life, and after graduating from high school, he enlisted in the organization's training program. There he learned about different cultures and religions, as well as the skills needed to survive in hostile environments. John excelled in his studies and quickly rose through the ranks of the organization. Within a few years, he became one of the most respected and sought-after missionaries. John's reputation grew, and soon he was leading missions to some of the most remote and dangerous parts of the world. He was known for his bravery and determination, and was often called upon to help other missionaries who were in trouble. John had a gift for languages and was fluent in several indigenous dialects. He also had a talent for connecting with people from all walks of life. But it was his unwavering faith that set him apart from other missionaries. John truly believed that everyone deserved the opportunity to hear the message of Christianity, and he was willing to go to great lengths to make that happen. In the case of the Sentinelese, John was particularly drawn to the challenge. He saw the Sentinelese as an opportunity to spread the message of Christianity to one of the most isolated and untouched tribes in the world. He believed that if he could reach the Sentinelese, he would make a significant contribution to the NTM and its mission to spread Christianity around the globe. But John also knew that reaching the Sentinelese would be a difficult task. He had heard stories of previous attempts to contact the tribe and knew that the Sentinelese were known for their hostility towards outsiders. But this only made John more determined. He saw the Sentinelese as a worthy challenge and was eager to see if he could succeed where others had failed. It was this combination of factors that led John to embark on his fateful journey to North Sentinel Island. John believed that he had what it took to reach the Sentinelese and spread the message of Christianity. He was a highly trained and experienced missionary with a passion for languages and a gift for connecting with people. He had the support of the NTM and the backing of his fellow missionaries. But ultimately, it was John's unwavering faith that led him to take on this seemingly impossible task. He truly believed that the Sentinelese needed to hear the message of Christianity, and he was willing to risk everything to make it happen. Though Shah's attempt to connect with the Sentinelese ultimately ended in failure, his story raises important questions about the ethics of missionary work and the dangers of cultural insensitivity. Whether one agrees with Shah's methods or not, his story is a reminder of the importance of respecting different cultures and beliefs, and the potential harm that can come from trying to impose one's own beliefs on others. That's all for today. See you next time.